loading snacks.
What it do? Snackers, snackettes, snack X's. It's your boy Gage. I'm here with jokes. I'm here with Sin. You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about the things that are happening in pop culture. And today we're gonna recap AwesomeCon 2022.
Boom.
We're gonna recap the PlayStation State of Play. We are going to give our predictions for the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, which is happening this Sunday for not E3.
Right.
And a few more things. Time willing.
Okay.
Time willing. Should time allow, we will do a little more. Let's start off here. Jokes. You have a job to do.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, folks, please make sure you hit that Beacons link. That is the easiest way to get to everything that Loading Snacks does. Our MCU chat, anime chat, our wrestling chat, Loading Snacks movie club, our YouTube, our TikTok. Like if it's social and we socialize there, that's the way to get there.
Right.
Almost more importantly than anything, our Patreon, but also our Discord. So please make sure you hit that link. You check us out there. Sin, if you would please shout out our top tier patrons.
Oh, absolutely. Yikes. So let's give a shout out to our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Susan Dorch, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
We do very much so. Doctor Who, your lights out? You have a storm?
I don't like that.
I'll be back for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's not the move.
Hopefully it come back before that.
Yeah.
Big facts.
I don't like that at all, but by all means conserve all the energy necessary so that you can do all the other things you need to do. Appreciate you being at our panel on Saturday.
Yes. And using some of that energy to be here with us right now.
Say that again, Sam. What'd you say?
I said use some of that energy, right now to, be with us right now.
Yeah, that is incredible. Which is the kind of thing a top tier patron does.
Hey.
So yeah, let's talk about AwesomeCon. Let's recap what we thought, how we felt. Sin, let's start with you. Jokes, you look like you got a lot to say, so I'm gonna let Sin start.
What? I got something.
I know exactly what he's talking about, and then that's in reference to AwesomeCon, one of our snag bites when one of them hit the floor and said person continued to eat it. I know exactly what that's for. But overall, AwesomeCon was great. It was amazing. Seeing our con family, met a lot of new people out there. You know what I mean? Did interviews with a lot of new people we haven't done interviews before, which were great. I really, really enjoyed that. Our panel, I thought was great. Good turnout that we had. For an overall good time being out there, back with the people that felt more, I would say, normal than it has been in the past because of COVID. It was just great. I bought a lot of artwork and went over my budget, as y'all probably knew I was going to do. So it is what it is. But no, I had a great time. I really enjoyed myself out there with the team.
Jokes?
Pretty much ditto everything Sen said. As usual, had a blast at AwesomeCon. My biggest thing, it was as much as we see our fam and stuff with all these different conventions that we go to, there's always something, like every time we go to a convention, it's just like it's always like starting over again, seeing everybody maybe we haven't seen in a while. It's always great when we run in, we talk to new people. Like found out someone we talked to was like they've been at AwesomeCon every single year, but somehow we've missed them in all of our time going out there to do interviews. Solid time. We went out there, we did some work. I think we were all super exhausted by the time we finished. But it was that good feeling, like, yeah, we did some work. Now let's just
Indeed.
and go to sleep.
Gina, I personally did not see a family with Care Bear shirts. I did, however, see a family like dressed as Care Bear, like they had on Care Bear onesies, like
Onesies,
green
the
Care
green
Bear
onesies.
Yeah.
Okay,
onesies.
yeah.
I did see that, but I didn't see like straight Care Bear shirts. Um, if that's in fact what they were wearing, but Care Bear onesie for sure. Look, Tatiana,
Yes, boo. Yes, boo. You knew you saw those Care Bears.
straight up, straight up. Yeah, look, Awesome Con is always a good time. My 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 thoughts on Awesome Con, this year were that it felt a little more spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the con itself suffered a little bit from the traffic situation outside.
Yes, that's
Just
Saturday.
just a little bit.
No, it was more than a little
Um,
bit.
the streets all around the convention center were blocked off from like 10 to 4.
Mm-hmm. Saturday. It
So
was
like
disgusting.
60% of the convention time, which I just think made it very difficult for people to get in, find parking, stuff like that. I know it took Sin
Uh,
and Jokes both a lot of extra time to get to the
mhm.
convention on Saturday. It took Kay
Oh
Oh my
boy.
gosh.
A
the day.
lifetime in
It
that.
took him the whole day. To get to the convention. So, I feel like stuff like that. I think there was a lot of negative feedback in terms of like, planning for Awesome Con and when that kind of stuff happens. Like that stuff is stuff that's happening outside of Awesome Con's control. Like that doesn't really have anything to do with them. So I think it's unfortunate. And
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that it hurt it a tad, probably not monetarily, because most of the people who were coming probably had already purchased
Badges
passes,
and mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and were coming anyway. Um, I will say that I think that the guest lineup was really great. The cosplay contest, which we don't normally go to,
Mm-hmm.
um, stood out. What's up,
Put on
Ty? You're not
time.
even
Late
that late today.
tie. Look at that.
Ty ain't that
That's on
tardy
time
today.
for him.
Well, it is on time for him.
Yes.
It's early for him, actually. Yeah, we don't normally go to the cosplay contest. The fact that the contest took place after the technical hours of the show floor and the show floor was closed.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I don't know if that's the thing that normally happens or not, because again, we don't normally go.
Yeah,
But it was cool. It was very cool to see.
it really
Um,
was, to be honest.
I certainly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
We got some good pictures with some good folks. What's up, Heather?
Hey, Heather.
I do want to make sure to send a very special shout out to Lainey Fenny for joining us
Yes.
on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
And to Zaina for jumping in as a backup, because realistically, I do think that while Lainey probably would have done the panel even if Zaina wasn't there,
It
Zaina
helped.
being there made it much
Yeah.
easier for
Mm-hmm.
Lainey to do the panel.
Yeah.
And so I do want to say that I look, we do this being comfortable being a geek panel all the time, multiple times a year. What's up, Perk? And I feel like every time we do it, I learn something new. I really did push for Lainey to be a part of the panel, specifically because when I asked her to do it, actually anytime I ask Lainey to do something, whether it's just come on here and hang out with us here, whatever, but especially when I asked her to do the panel last year, she was like,
You mean
what's up, John?
on stage in front of people?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people?
Deer in headlights.
Yeah, and I think that it's very easy for people to see somebody like Lainey who has thousands upon thousands of Instagram followers and crazy TikTok numbers and so forth, and is a cosplayer and dresses up and gets in front of people and has a table and and signs autographs and sells pictures of herself and stuff like that. That they would imagine that she's extremely outgoing and extremely, like it's easy for her, and it's not. Thanks, John. John said good discussion, good audience engagement. We really do try for that, for sure.
Yeah, audience engagement is the biggest thing.
So I thought it was really important to have someone like her who has the kind of following she has to be able to come up and say that she's not always completely comfortable, right? And that it doesn't necessarily come easy for her, but part of the reason why she does it and can do it is because she found a place like conventions. That allowed her to do that. So I thought it was really cool. I think, again, it was important for her to be there, and I do want to just send an extra special shout out to her, because of that, because otherwise,
gang.
That's right, Zayna.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think, I will say this: she did specifically say she wouldn't do that for anybody else but us,
and that's solid,
which is pretty dope. Listen, Marcus, I'm game for all the threats you want to throw at Joe.
You could throw him.
You
still a little salty. He's still a little salty that he lost the prediction show.
He got to come up with that money for you for that next pay-per-view.
I don't even honestly know if salty is the best way to describe what he is about it. I'm gonna go past salty and say sore loser, terrible loser. Although he is right that you need to have some gear.
Oh, merchandise
when y'all do the next show. So this was our Sunday shot with Lainey in her Captain Marvel / Top Gun kind of mashup gear, which I guess in this picture you kind of can't really tell, though it is like an Air Force jump suit. Hey, Sen, talk about this for a second.
What, a pimp named Slickback?
A pimp named Slickback?
Yeah.
I mean, what else to say?
Buddy.
Our man kills that every time he does it, man. Like
every single time.
And you can't tell in the picture, but he's playing music out of his back pocket as he's walking around like that.
Oh, that's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
I always enjoy Uptown Bill. He goes all out with the cosplay. If you follow his Instagram, he's got the pimp named Slickback audio going in the background and mouthing pieces to it. There's the homie John.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moon Knight. That jump is
clean. Took best in his category, in the advanced category. That's a winner right there, for sure.
That thing is clean.
Yeah, there's no two ways about it. Super clean. Yeah, overall, I had a great time at Awesome Con. It felt good. I loved it. Again, we met a lot of new people and did a lot of new interviews. Did a lot of great networking. And that K, after 8 years,
holy, I know, right?
Has decided to jump in front of the camera instead of just behind the camera and shoot some interviews of his own. So y'all make sure y'all look out for that.
Yes.
Why you hating so hard, Cuddy?
One of the
or you just want
you know what? I do want to give a shout out to Noah and his squad for being there and repping, us, Loaded Snacks, going there getting people to join up with anime chat and watch parties each week and stuff like that, and even doing some videos with us, some fun videos with us. So salute to them for showing up and holding it down.
No doubt. Shout out to Shady and her crew.
Yes.
Shout out to Lainey. Shout out to Joe Colton and Maggie for holding us down. John, I have no idea how the after party was because I didn't go.
No,
we weren't there. No,
we were done. Once the shore flows closed, so did we.
I went to McDonald's. It was a party in there.
That's the after party.
24-hour McDonald's in DC, boy. There's a party in there. There was a van that was on fire in front of the hotel.
Oh, wow.
That was nice.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Straight up. Got it, Cuddy. Got it. So yeah, overall, Awesome Con was dope. Had a great time. I forgot to buy fudge before I left. That's my only regret.
You forgot the fudge? I can't say
I forgot the fudge. You were there when I was there.
He did. He did.
Is Kay gonna start a creepy puppet show though? If you look at his Instagram, maybe
it may.
because
Dog,
my man has been talking via puppet.
Dog, ever since I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when we get that interview live, I could not keep a straight face through that whole damn interview to say.
I couldn't either. I had to stop looking.
I walked away.
Yeah. I had to stop looking.
At least y'all could do that. I got camera in my hand. I'm holding on, like laughing my ass off to the side.
Oh, I walked away. Look, keep your eyes peeled because we are uploading videos. We saw some short videos. We tried to do something a little bit different this year and take a lot of the people who we already know and we do interviews with all the time and just do kind of real quick, short phone interviews with them so we could throw those up there. Leah, right now we're recapping Awesome Con. Mm-hmm. By the way, thank you for my sticker and my pen.
Sticker and the pens and the gummies. Candy. Yes, most.
Yeah, tiniest gummies I've ever seen. I don't know where you got them, but that
hey, that was. Yeah. Hey, Sin, you didn't put your picture up. You said you were gonna get that picture up. What happened, man?
Well, I told you yesterday I had a migraine that literally wrecked me for the whole day, so I didn't get a chance to do it like I wanted to yesterday.
Matter of fact, hey, you know what, Sin? Go grab it. Let's do some show and tell. Go grab that. I know you want.
Y'all talking about the big one?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I can show them. I got the small one, so I can show them the small one.
Just the big one.
You got them on Amazon. I will be looking at that. We did have some sake Kit Kats. Those came from Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon.
Those were pretty good. We had several flavors of Pop-Tarts. Peach cobbler,
chocolate churro,
trifling churro. Yes, chocolate churro. And lemon pie,
lemon meringue pie. I think
it wasn't meringue, but lemon cream pie.
Lemon cream pie.
It's lemon cream pie. Yeah, we tried a few things. We had some fun. Listen, I said grab something. This dude grabbed everything.
Hey,
he grabbed everything. Like,
so I got this banner.
That banner was
a life-size banner, as you can see. Like
it is a life-size Luffy banner, which is realistically the closest thing you've managed to get to that life-size actual full
statue
Luffy that you have to assemble.
To
put together. Oh yeah, the churro was no good.
No, it wasn't.
El churro was no good. Yeah, we had a good time. So y'all just keep your eyes peeled for the videos. Jokes, you got stuff you want to show off? You want to show something?
Hey Sin, we can show these Jones at the same time. Like I got a One Piece poster, but Sin got the nice size one.
I got the
yeah, but
Sin gave you a freebie, right? Oh, you're not talking about.
Oh, I forgot about that one. I gotta go grab that. I gotta go grab that. But
we'll go grab it. Because we can't see yours anyway.
Yeah, you can't see that.
Instead of showing it, you might as well.
I'll be right back.
Like this one right here was probably my favorite piece I picked up there. I know to most of y'all it might look like Luffy throwing a punch, but like,
listen. Hopefully, it's I guess it is a spoiler maybe for some people, but
you're right. But basically, it's a spoiler from episode 10-15, which broke the internet a couple weeks ago. It's told as one of the greatest anime episodes ever currently right now.
Yeah.
But this was a moment from that episode. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I got to have it, frame it. It's whatever. Yeah. So it will be up in here somehow. I don't know how just yet. But I've already decided this is just going to be the One Piece wall. And I'm going to figure it out somehow. So.
Rocky! Candace, that movie from Do the Right Thing was a fire cosplay, and no doubt. Like, and the following day he did Giancarlo Esposito's or he may have done it the day before. I might have just completely missed it, but I saw on his Instagram that he did that like the day before. I definitely saw the drag show at
yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
They definitely went all the way in. It was a great show, for real. They definitely need to do that again next year, I think.
I think it'd be a good look for them.
Sam, what else you got before I swap and let Jokes show off? Y'all know I only bought one thing. So.
Which of these that I got? Like I said, I haven't opened up any of this stuff.
I don't.
These are my 2 initial D posters that Jokes can attest to. I've been hunting for like a couple years now trying to get. I got this one, and I got this one. Initial D is one of my favorite animes. You know what I mean? So, and you don't see them like that ever because it's so old. Even though it is coming back next year, I can't wait. But they had the artist right across from him happened to have 2 more, which we got a video of me doing rock paper scissors to decide if I'm gonna get it or not.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
it's coming to you real soon. I just gotta chop it up, man. I want to shorten it. It's a little long, but
I get it. But it was this one with them at the gas station. This one with them at the gas station, and y'all might have seen me wear this T-shirt, the Fujiwara Tofu shop. This is the actual shop with both cars out front of it. His dad sitting out there smoking a cigarette, so I figured I had to get those. And because it was buy 2 get 1 free, they hit me with where'd it go? Oh,
my man lost a poster.
Sorry, got this beautiful Thousand Sunny picture, and I don't know if you can see it real well from there, but one thing that Jokes noticed and pointed out was the shadow underneath it is their first ship, the Going Merry, on the bottom of it. So yeah, that just extra sold it for me as my free one. So yeah, and I got 2 others somewhere around here, but they're buried over there. But I'll post those on IGSM later. We don't need to do that right now. Those are the big ones for me.
Jokes.
Can't hear you, brother.
There you go.
Aha. I have the same Luffy one that Sin has, but I got the smaller version of it. But when Sin, you know what? I appreciate this, my dude. When I saw those initial D posters that he's been wanting for some time, he bought 2 and got 1 free.
Welcome back,
my man. I know it's gonna kind of be faded out on there, but he hooked me up with.
You make it so difficult.
There we go.
But it basically is right behind you anyway, so it's like.
Well, it's a different one. Hey, we're gonna make it work somehow. But it's
I
the
don't think so, buddy.
Hey,
I don't think so. I think the camera's like, nah, we're not seeing that. Everybody make sure you go follow Jokes.
It's the RX-78.
New Joker 89.
Grandpa. I'll try this, but I know it ain't gonna work. This for me, this was the big one. And shout out to Death of Color for doing this. This thing is absolutely amazing, and this thing is packed real well in here. I don't know if I'll be able to get this back in here. So y'all already know what my number 1 thing is that I just absolutely love. It's Power Rangers.
Pokemon.
Hey, no.
Shut up.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Wrestling.
My man had this whole entire junk. I'll do it slow because you can kind of get the gist of it. And it has all 6 OG Rangers on there for it. And this thing is massive. Like,
hey, where you gonna put that?
Dog, I have no clue. All I know is I needed to have it.
Yeah.
But this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Like everything he did was in like oil. So that there's unfortunately, this isn't the original. But we saw the original up on the wall, and that thing was just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, Jokes, you need to look at that right there. That really big Power Rangers thing. Went over there and...
I want y'all to know that a thing that happens to us when we go to conventions is we are constantly pointing out ways for each other to spend money.
Facts.
And it's successful.
I'm usually the one that loses.
Yeah, always. Not even usually. But that's what we do. It's like we'll walk past somebody's table and just start tapping somebody. Hey, yo, you gotta look.
But you know what? It's part fun, but it's part just so you know, like that piece is here. I don't know if you caught that Spider-Man piece. I don't know if you caught that, One Piece joint or whatever. Just so you know.
Some of it is just like, yo, that joint's kind of dope.
Yeah.
For me, it's. I almost only buy Spider-Man stuff, so it's easy for me because you know what I mean. But it's also everywhere. But I've also earned the ability to be very picky about the Spider-Man stuff that I care enough about to actually do something with, because I don't. Again, I have so much of it that like just because someone has something that is Spider-Man related doesn't necessarily mean that like, oh, all right, you can see it everywhere. So it has to be like, for me to purchase something that is Spider-Man related, when it's a print, a drawing, whatever, it has to stand out. It can't just be like, oh, it's another Spider-Man.
I
It's
completely agree.
Spider-Man swinging through the city with New York in the background.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna get it for me. I got enough of that, right? And everybody does it, so it's like super common. It clearly must work for people, because like I'm sure plenty of people don't have as much Spider-Man stuff as I do.
True.
But this joint, I had to pick up. Tracy Ching did this piece, and for real,
Oh, I know.
for real, her work is just so incredible, and because all of her work is licensed. It's like it's a little bit different than what I traditionally get in terms of like just like some fan art or what have you.
Oh yeah.
But I also, part of the reason why I got it is because it has companion pieces, which is like a companion piece. So she also had the Spider Gwen to go along with it. And I was
I realized you got the Gwen too. So you said you're just gonna get the Spider-Man.
Hey,
oh, come on, man!
No, like he said, I'm just gonna get that one. I was like, okay, you know.
Hey,
but like, let me explain it. Like, as I was purchasing the Spider-Man, the Spider Gwen joint was whispering sweet nothing in my ear there. Like,
I get it.
That joint was like,
don't leave me.
You know you can't, because it's one of those things where it's like, if I walk away from this joint, also specifically with Tracy's artwork, it's limited. So she does the artwork, it goes on whatever the official thing is. It's prints for whatever it is, and then what she has is extremely limited, and she's selling like her final copies. So it's like when it's gone,
that's
it.
It's
gone. It's gone. Yeah,
that's it. She also has some dope BTS artwork, which Edie got some, Zayna got some from my mother. Like, she had some dope official work, and so it was one of those things where it's like, this isn't the kind of thing where I can even take the chance of like, oh, I'll just come back and get it another time or something like that. Yeah, that's no haps. So we don't, you know.
We learned that real quick. Oh
yeah, Leah. Her BTS stuff was incredible. Hey, Zayna, if you're watching,
run downstairs
between you and Edia, if you want to grab that BTS piece and bring it down, that would be.
That's running right now.
That's how I ended up with those other two initial D posters, because I wanted them the entire time I was there, but I just didn't want to spend the money, even though I wanted.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No, so I didn't want to spend the money, but like I said, you don't see initial D. You know what I mean? And those were 4 pictures like I genuinely actually like of them. So I'm pretty sure if I'd have won rock paper scissors, I'd still end up coming home.
Oh, you're probably right.
You're
probably right. But that's still one of my favorite things, that you just got challenged to rock, paper, scissors to go spend your own money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the kind of thing one of us probably would have done to you.
I'm pretty sure you would have brought it up and jokes would have played me rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, man. Look at this. Special delivery.
Special delivery.
Let me see. Oh, you coming? Okay. You couldn't sit down.
Join in the. What up?
Hello, Zayna.
My Levi artwork is already up on my walls.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at that.
That junk is clean.
That's official.
I'm just waiting for Leah to geek
there
out.
You go. She did have other pieces. Really dope. They're on her Instagram. Listen, just follow Tracy Ching. Though Leah, she did specifically say when we talked to her and interviewed her, she was like, if you're not at a convention, she only does Awesome Con and New York Comic Con, and that's it. She doesn't do any other conventions. So if you don't catch her at a convention, like she doesn't do commissions, you can't order them from her, you can't go to her website. Like you have to catch her at a convention.
I don't know about her other stuff, but this was officially licensed through Hive. So if you have the Weverse app, the shop app, they might still be available.
Right. The posters might be available elsewhere. Like you can probably get them because again, all their stuff is officially licensed.
Mm-hmm.
So like as we were talking to her, jokes is like, you know what? I do have some.
I got some of your stuff in my house already.
Yeah, because she does a lot of like the steel bookcases for DVD special releases and stuff like that. So, what's up, Wally?
Ryan?
That actually wasn't for her, J. Robert Deans. That actually wasn't for her. That was for her grandmother. Though she has a version of that same one that's purple that
she got the purple one
that Edie got. So yeah, but all in all, yes, please try to catch her at the next one. Again, her prints when they gone. So like I don't know. Though she did say she might actually be considering giving up New York Comic Con and only ever doing Awesome Con because it's the local convention for her. And that because she gets such limited quantities for herself to sell, that trying to like limit how much she takes to one convention versus going to another one and what it costs to go to New York and all that kind of stuff might not be worth it. So, Ocean City. Awesome Con is probably where you're most likely going to see her again. KB, what up, man? Leah said, I have a lot of BTS stuff, but you can never have enough. See, that's how I feel about Spider-Man. Though there is, again, stuff I will just turn down. There are, like, I have multiple versions of the same shirt. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, little stuff, sure, but, like, stuff that's, like, posters that go up on walls, like, if it's not something, again, it has to stand out. But
I feel the same way.
Have a hip-hop conversation in the chat, if you choose. Look, let's talk about PlayStation State of Play from last week. This happened last Thursday. Personally, for me, I'm gonna say this is probably the most impressive State of Play they've had in like almost 2 years. Gentlemen, feel free to chime in and say.
I agree. I was on board with a lot of what they showed.
I didn't get a Tiger shirt. I don't know. No, I didn't get a Tiger shirt. But I did not get a Tiger shirt, but I will get a Tiger shirt. I'll get a Tiger shirt soon. I just saw the post today. Yep. So I will definitely get a Tiger shirt though. Maybe a hoodie. Yeah, jokes. State of Play, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like, definitely in comparison to the typical State of Plays that they give to us. This one was pretty good. I will say a few things on it that caught my eye. I'm willing to see if there's going to be anything else that they just subtly, maybe over the next few weeks, just decide to throw out there. But definitely better presentation they've done overall in a very long time.
I dig it. Saying you felt the same way?
I agree. I was even, intrigued by some of their VR stuff, specifically No Man's Sky and The Walking Dead, Saints for Sinners, Retribution.
I knew those two.
Thing they showed. Yeah, because they actually looked like, I don't know, like No Man's Sky feels like it'd be fun and like even more fun in VR. You know what I mean? And Walking Dead actually looked good. You know what I mean? For like a VR type of shooter type of thing. But the other just regular announcements, there was a few of them that are more than likely going to end up in my catalog. For sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I found that interesting that like you actually said when we talked about it that the No Man's Sky VR was gonna make you buy a PlayStation VR.
Well, possibly like I was playing around, but like that it's.
But it's already available on. You have an Oculus, right? I'm not like it's already available.
Quest, but no, it's not. Not on mine.
Oh, you can't get it on yours.
Nah,
because it's definitely available. Like it's not like No Man's Sky VR is not new.
Yeah, it's not available on mine. My older model. Yeah, so
got
it. It is something I would love to, put on and play in VR and fly space and see the planets, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun in VR.
I do find it also interesting that the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners you are interested in doing in VR because you don't do scary.
It's more so just the Walking Dead name and killing zombies that'll get me. Like I'm weird, So it is what it is.
Very much so.
Yeah, that's a fact.
If you get that, I think that's going to be a day that we all need to just be in the same place and watch you
And
play
stream.
that, because that is going to be an experience.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
Jokes, was there anything specifically from the state of play that stood out to you?
For me, honestly, Final Fantasy 16, as much as we already knew that was coming, that's probably the biggest thing on the PlayStation board that I'm intrigued with. Street Fighter, of course. I was intrigued, but it was PlayStation. I was like, I'll probably pass. Then we found out it's coming to the box, so I'm like, now I'm a little more interested in Street Fighter now. But
I'm still interested. I don't care where. I need to know more.
But after seeing the presentation that they gave, like me and Sin we had moments after. I think we were talking about this either coming out of Awesome Con or someplace in there. We was like, hold on, what does this feel like? You could go in here and it looks like you can just like walk around the world and do all this type of stuff. It was like, okay, I think they're doing something a little bit different here, and I'm intrigued by that. So,
facts. As a matter of fact, let's look at the Final Fantasy trailer now.
Oh, that thing looks so amazing.
In a world ruled by tyranny and turmoil. Saying you got the voice?
There are those who would fight.
What are the dominants?
Here's my favorite thing about this. It's just, y'all know, like, summons are absolutely my favorite part of Final Fantasy.
It unmakes
and the fact that this is like
that it's
summon
versus summon,
like it's straight kaiju battle.
The icon.
I'm amped for this.
Sony did make a game.
There's going to be another
We can talk
war,
about that in a
isn't
second.
there?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I unite the dominants,
That we may bring an end to the strife.
and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow. If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations. There will be losses, it is true.
Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
That's all it's clean.
Ifrit is my joint too, dog.
I think he's the main character.
You think Ifrit is the main character?
I think that's who
Awaken,
possesses the main
child
character.
of fate.
Like just because of this part right here.
Awaken.
Because of the flames? Yeah.
If
That's totally
we-
possible.
So I think he has Ifrit.
Ooh.
Summer 2020.
I don't know if they announced the voice actors, Zaina.
I'm sure you can pull some of them up, but they haven't made anything
Yeah, you
like.
can try to jump in there. They definitely sound familiar. And a lot of them do that same kind of work.
Yeah.
B said, are there really 16 Final Fantasy? Did they just throw a number out there?
No,
And
there are
he asked
definitely
how many Final
16.
Fantasy games there are. So-
Main storyline, I think, would be the way to say there's 16.
The main
of them.
the main continuity, there's 16, but outside of that,
Well,
there's
there
plenty
is
more.
no such thing as continuity in Final
right.
Fantasy games,
right.
except for the ones that have an actual second
Continuation.
part. So yes,
X-
there's
10 and 10.
there are Final Fantasy 1 through 16.
Mhm.
Final Fantasy 10 was the first
First
one
one.
to have an actual sequel that continues the story using the same character. So there are character names and like basic jobs that show up in almost every Final Fantasy, like Sid is a character in almost every Final Fantasy, and he's always like an engineer or a pilot or something like that.
Biggs and Wedge show up in most of them. Yeah, there's little henchmen type of
Chocobos
things.
are consistent. Like there are certain characters like the
Aeons, just like the Aeons, yeah.
Odin. Yeah, they're all consistent. But yeah, Final Fantasy X. There's Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. That was the first one that ever had an actual sequel that took the same characters from one game and continued their story. They didn't do that again until Final Fantasy 13, which has 2 additional parts to it. It was Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13-2, and then Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 11 is an
RPG.
online MMORPG multiplayer game, as well as 14. It's also the same way. It's another completely online MMORPG. And then there are countless like offshoots, remakes,
Tactics,
side things. There's tons of other Final Fantasy stuff as well. So yes.
50 games easily.
Probably.
Easily.
Oh yeah. The nomenclature is terrible. Yes, the NES joints count. Yes, the original NES joints. Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, like all those ones that were NES and SNES, they count. Though what we got here in the United States is off. So for us, Final Fantasy 2 was a Super Nintendo game, but it was actually like 4.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So
and part 3 for us was part 6.
Yeah. So there were certain ones as far as the way they got released in the US that it was off. By the way,
easiest way to say it.
But in the meantime, Square still has like tons of other like RPGs besides just Final Fantasy. But Final Fantasy is probably their at least worldwide. It's probably their biggest one. But yeah, so it's a thing. Like 16 is real. And if they stopped giving them names like that, then that would be a problem. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Y'all are the goats. Jabbing to know.
I'm ready to find
Final Fantasy 7 Remake is probably the thing is one of the newest oddities because it's not actually a remake of Final Fantasy 7. It only retells part of what was on the first disc.
A very small piece.
It retells the demo.
Yeah, like they basically made the opening like 10 hours into like 40 hours.
Yeah.
And said it was a game and then just like released it. And it's like, all right, so that means they got to do a Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2.
Part 2,
like,
I don't even know if you call it I guess you still call it a remake, whatever.
I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you call it.
Each one is its own Final Fantasy. That's just how you look at it.
Some of them are finals, or I should say, some of these characters are. They're final.
Yeah. So the naming structure behind Final Fantasy, like the reason why it's called Final Fantasy, is because when they put out the first Final Fantasy game, Square was literally on its last leg, and so this game was like the last, like the main person behind creating the narrative, deciding we're doing this and pushing it out. He was encouraged basically by his wife, like, if this is going to be the last one, do the thing you want to do, right? Like, put that out. And so it was called Final Fantasy because it was a very good chance that it was going to be the very last game Square as a company was ever able to put out. And that was in 1986 with the first Final Fantasy. So that's kind of how that ended up coming.
More
Final Fantasy or
Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts by a long shot.
Final Fantasy at least does like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like even if they do the spinoffs, it's like 13, 2. Kingdom Hearts is like here's 1, here's 1.4, here's 1.5, here's 2.3 remix HD.
I'm about to say remix, like
no,
and the story gets so much more confusing as you get into it. Like it's
And it's like they're all in line with each other. Even like when you go from the main consoles to all the handhelds that they did, the games.
Yeah,
it is the like.
it's the worst.
It's
the worst. And KB, you trying to make it worse? He like, well, Kingdom Hearts world ties into multiple Final Fantasy worlds, so I say they're included in the series. No dog don't do that.
No, because they only like really included Final Fantasy for like the first maybe 2 games.
2 games, and then after that,
and
it was
they
like
just abandoned all
Disney.
of that. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things where like they were just kind of pulling. It's like Kingdom Hearts is almost in a weird way. It's like it's almost like they're Smash Brothers. It's like a Disney and Square Smash Brothers. It's weird that they don't have Dragon Quest characters in Kingdom Hearts. And that would be the thing I would expect for them to do next, would be to start adding like characters from Dragon Quest in there somewhere.
Nah, you're going to get Darth Vader before you get Dragon Quest characters.
Oh yeah, the Marvel and Star Wars stuff is bound to show up in whatever the next one is.
You're going to get a lightsaber Keyblade at some point. Come on now.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. J. Robert Deans, this is for you. Because you asked, there is your Sony PlayStation portable phone.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Sony Ericsson, and it was terrible. It was garbage. It was the Xperia Play was the name of that. And that is from like 2011, something like that.
Damn, I didn't feel like it was before that. Gosh.
It wasn't.
Jeez.
It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't before that because I sold them at like Radio Shack, and I was there like around that. Long time ago. Yeah.
I forgot about that moment. My bad.
Yeah. With Marcus.
My man was Radio Shack. No, you gotta say.
I don't know if y'all knew that me and Marcus worked together at Radio Shack.
With the hater?
Nah.
Y'all didn't know that?
With the One Piece fan?
That, no.
The biggest One Piece fan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the biggest One Piece wrestling fan out there.
Okay.
I say we make some sort of a One Piece shirt in the Loading Snacks merch store so that
Marcus has to work.
Yes.
All right, man.
I actually think.
Hey, listen, KB. Let me just tell you.
Together.
I said we sold them in the store. I never sold one of them. Never sold a single one.
He steered everybody away. You don't want that.
Hey, look, dog. If you're gonna do this, go Vita. Like they came out around the same time the Vita came out. Wasn't the Vita 2011?
Let's see.
Let me see. I feel like it was before that.
I don't know. I mean, look, y'all can look at it and double check it. Here's what I will tell you. Here's the things that stood out to me from the PlayStation.
Why say 2021? You are smoking.
That's definitely not true.
December 17th, 2011.
See?
Japan 2011. North America 2012.
February 15th, 20. Yeah. So.
And what was the release date for the Vita?
February 22nd.
Of 2011?
2012.
Yeah, so like I said, they came out right around the same time.
I don't know. It seems like it's
ridiculous because the Vita was way more powerful than that joint. That joint was basically like again, it was a PlayStation in your hand. It's kind of so Resident Evil 4 getting a remake. That stood out to me. We knew it was coming.
Asking for that.
I don't need it, but all praise be. Y'all can have it. It'll probably show up in Game Pass. I'm good. Spider-Man coming to PC. The Spider-Man remake coming to PC again. Didn't surprise me. I saw it coming because everything Sony does is coming to PC. It's part of what they're doing. It is part of their business strategy now. So just get used to that happening.
People upset about that, John, too. Like I don't understand it. Like I'm happy that people that don't have PlayStation, that have PCs, can experience this junk. Cause that Spider-Man junk, Insomniac is beautiful and is absolutely awesome.
Again, you have to understand that the reason why people are mad about Sony putting their games on PC is because for years they would shake their finger at Microsoft and Xbox fans and be like, your stuff's not even really exclusive. Like you know what I mean? And so again, we had this conversation once before, but like Sony has sold people the lie that what the PlayStation is special because you can only get
it there.
Certain things from them. You know what I'm saying? It's that same kind of Apple story of like, it's not really premium, but we lock things to it that make it so like you can't get certain things or you can't do certain things outside of it. That makes it feel premium. And when you spent your money on a thing, like when you've doubled down on something or when you've been sold the lie and you're like, I'm going to buy a PlayStation because I really want to play Spider-Man and I know the only way I'll ever be able to play Spider-Man is if I have a PlayStation. Well, that's not true anymore. It's not how that works anymore. You want to play God of War? All you need is a PC. Just like what Microsoft is doing. You know what I'm saying? So it makes people feel like they've been fighting a battle for no reason. It makes people feel like they've been ringing the PlayStation bell for no reason, or like maybe they have or had a PC. But for console side of it, they've been a major PlayStation fan, and they did that because they were sold the idea of like, you'll never be able to play this anywhere else except for here, which a lot of people come up on that idea. Almost anybody who's a gamer either came up on PlayStation or Nintendo. And Nintendo doesn't generally give you access to any of their IPs outside of a Nintendo console. As a matter of fact, a lot of times whatever they have is locked to whatever console it's on when you have stuff like the Wii, where the only way to play it is with a motion control or something like that, right? So people are tied to that stuff because they feel like the part of the reason for them to spend that money and go that route to say, I'm either going to spend my money on this or on this, it's because of that. It's because of that promise of like, well, here's the reason why you want to have it. What Sony is trying to maintain and do to not really lose that fan base, and again, this is vocal minority, is they're spacing out the amount of space between, you know, that window of exclusivity. There is a window of exclusivity for the console. Where, you know, for a while, for a year or two, the only way to play Spider-Man was on a PlayStation 4. I am firmly in the corner that exclusivity window is going away. I don't believe they'll be able to maintain that exclusivity window. And part of the reason for that is because, again, and it might be different if they could actually make consoles and get them in people's hands.
That's another
right
thing
now,
as well too.
It is and is continuing to be difficult to convince people that it's worth it to go out and spend the money on a PlayStation 5 for the exclusive content when that content is at some point going to end up somewhere else. And if you are using content to sell systems, but you don't have systems to sell,
kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, the business strategy doesn't work anymore, right? Of we'll make consoles and we'll have games, and the games will sell the you know what I mean? The software will sell the hardware, and therefore once you have the hardware, you'll continue to buy software. So again, that's the thing they'll have to combat. It is what it is. Well, I'm not the biggest Horizon fan. I didn't play the new one, but Horizon Forbidden West, I like the idea that along with the new DLC, that they added a new Game Plus. They added an ultra hard mode, and they added the ability to transmog, so you could wear the stuff that gives you the best abilities, but look the way you want to look, which I think is just an important thing that anybody who has that kind of a system now should implement in their game up front. But I also think it's important for them to give people reasons to go back to games that they already own. Especially when, as a company, if you look at what Sony has been doing, they are purchasing other companies. Shady. They're there's
the after party right there. So now we know,
because the day after looked rough.
I know, right?
Tough. They are purchasing companies that have experience, like Bungie, that have experience in creating content that is ongoing, right? And Sony's known typically for making single-player, story-driven games that when it's over, it's over. Here's 12 hours, go have fun with it, and then that's it. But the long tail of monetary value for a game is much longer than that now, and you know, you have to give people reasons to come back. So to take something like Horizon, which again falls into that category, story-driven, single-player, play it and then you're done, giving them a reason to go back to it or to continue to play it or to spend money in the ecosystem somewhere. It just makes a lot of sense. So I dug that. Y'all want to watch the Street Fighter 6 trailer?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Cause we could do that. I did load it up.
Boom, boom.
Here we go. Try not to get too excited, Joe. So this to me looks like, all right, it says Metro City. And
so I was thinking Final Fight.
But Metro City is the city from Final Fight, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was immediately like to me, I was like, all right, hold on.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, we're doing a new Final Fight.
When you go looking for strength,
Right.
it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending.
Hey, look, Hazel said,
Okay then, hope you're ready to begin.
I don't like this for a Street Fighter
You
game.
want to start off on the right foot in this city. Hit the streets.
Hey there, dudes, never feel loose. And when I get up in the game, y'all improve. A real problem, but I solve them on Facebook. And if you think I'm going forward, then you talking forward. Yeah, y'all wanna win? Let me spin, boy. I'm done inside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim.
This right here. Like, Sin, the first thing I thought about when I saw them doing this, I was thinking of the Yakuza and seeing this, like, the way that they were moving around.
Yeah.
Don't give me that. Oh my lord.
But I'm gonna tell you what. Chun-Li look dope. I don't like the way that they have changed Ryu over the years. Like, he's so wide. This seems like
Look, he got the thickest feet.
what?
No, what you think? Why you think?
They look clean.
I also like how they slice. Like, Chun-Li just looked like a straight G in this joint. She's like, "Hey Slim, do you have any idea who you fighting?
Right.
This is what I do."
I like that.
I also don't like that they're really trying to sell this dude. I think his name is like Andy or something. Like they literally wanted to. Yeah, the plan was for that dude to replace Ryu, and they're doing that because the U.S. audience is so much more important now. That they want to have a lead character that isn't Ryu. They're trying to replace him.
You got
That
Ken.
was actually the plan for Street Fighter 5.
Like, we've grown up with Ryu for years. There's no need to change him out with this franchise. If you want to switch somebody out, give it to Ken. Like,
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, you don't need to force a new guy upon us. Yeah, he's been around forever. We love him.
Yeah, and going with him is better than going with Guile.
Yeah, 100%.
This joint does look incredible, dog. Now,
This is our destiny. My secret art.
I don't know if you saw. Well, we can talk about it in a second. The battle hub.
Yeah, that looked like some what was it? Jokes, the anime jump we was playing. This right here.
Oh,
Shonen Jump.
Jump Force.
Yes,
It
that
jump,
looks very Jump
up,
Force
Leonardo?
right there. Hey, Nardo.
He was such a sweet baby. Sin was such a sweet baby, I'm sure.
Not no more.
J. Robert Dean said Chun-Li gets thicker and thicker with every game. That's
yes,
true.
sir.
Listen,
Yes,
let me tell you
sir.
something. Them the thighs do not lie. Them joints true.
Them things
Hey, look,
are
yeah,
strong.
B, there are definitely 16. Listen. But they on Street Fighter 6.
But you know how they do Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5 Turbo, Street Fighter 5 Turbo Championship Edition,
Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter 5 EX Turbo
Street
Championship
Fighter 5
Edition.
arcade.
Do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. John said,
Gotta
I
go to
remember skipping
Pizza.
school to go to Pizza Hut. They had a Street Fighter arcade game, spent a lot of allowance. Hey, listen,
Big facts.
there was a when I was in middle school, there was a small arcade around the corner from where we walked to school, and after school, like on a Friday, we would walk there. It was a little spot called Food and Games, which ironically at some point did turn into a Pizza Hut, John, just so you know. Then it's now not a Pizza Hut. But yeah, we used to walk over there or ride our bikes there on the weekend and just drop quarters in Street Fighter. They had a Street Fighter, they had a Mortal Kombat, like the big deal. J. Robert Dean said apparently my knowing the grammar for sick just
Kid look came in and was like, hold on a minute. Hold
Hey, let
on
me
a
tell you something.
minute.
Sick with 2 C's is important to everybody, J. Robert.
Yes.
It's important to everyone.
You let somebody know how thick it actually is.
Nana's making a face at who right now? Me or J. Robert Dean?
Gotta be J. Robert. Gotta
J.
be
Robert Dean deserves the face. Kitless said, "Hold on a minute."
She snitched.
Why you telling? I'm sure Sam got homework to do or something.
Oh man,
it's gotta be like finals time or something. Making a face at me.
Oh, left you.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not whatever. Like hey, Nana, ask Zayna if sick is important to her. Let's just leave it at that. Like, it ain't, I'm not. Why I gotta be me? Why you making a face at me? You know what I'm saying?
You guys still show me Shorty off of the was it Pink, whatever the band or whatever the Korean joint you supposed to show me at Awesome Con?
Oh, you talking about Lali? You talking about
yes?
Lalisa?
Yes, I got to see Lalisa.
She don't. She's got no 2 C's. She don't have. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she got 2 C's.
That's just really to make them upset. That's all that is.
Nah, I still want to see it.
Sam has nothing to do right now. Z came in right on time. Good. Then pay attention to the rest of the show and keep your father in check. That's I think what's supposed to be the thing. Who gave him permission to walk from school to the arcade? You did. I never went without asking. Ever. Never went without asking. And that's why I said on a Friday or like a half day. Half day. Sometimes we can do that because it was either there or it was Jose's. We didn't go home. So let's talk about the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, which is happening this Sunday.
Oh, you in trouble?
Hey, Candace, please. Candace, please. You, J. Robert D. Sin. What are your predictions for the Xbox Bethesda Showcase that's coming this Sunday? Which, listen, we're gonna react to it live. It's gonna be late though. I think it starts at like 9. It's probably not that late. It could be though.
That's my bedtime.
You right, KB.
Yeah, we gotta take a
nap. Where was an arcade? So where Kettering Plaza is. Where like right up the street from Kettering Middle. Around the corner from Kettering Middle. Down the street from Jokes. It's basically where it is.
Pretty much.
It was a Pizza Hut, and then it became some off-brand pizza joint for I don't know what that. It's just Largo Pizza.
There's a Largo Pizza that's over there, but that's not in the same place where the arcade was. Yeah, food and games. Ironically, years later, I worked in the mall. One of my managers at a store I worked at called Learning Smith, it was his parents that owned food and games. Like one day we were just talking. I was like, yeah, man, I used to go to this arcade down the street. Because he asked me, because he's like, why are you coming all the way out here to work? And it turned out his parents own that place for sure. It's really, really weird. Yes, you definitely missed out, Doctor Who. It's time for an Elder Scrolls 6 announcement, KB. I'm not against that. Sam, what do you think? Is he right?
Well, that's first on my list. Actually,
is it really?
I think we'll get an Elder Scrolls update at least. I think we'll get an update. Yeah, an update. Yeah, I know it's still farther, out a little down the line, but I think we will get an update. But I think because of that, we'll get a real look at Starfield, at least a gameplay trailer or something along those lines, because that's supposed to come out before Skyrim. So I think we'll get a real look at Starfield. I think we'll get a Forza Horizon 5 DLC announcement. Show us what's coming as far as major DLC packages for Forza Horizon 5. It's about the time for that.
Yep.
I think we'll get a Fable trailer.
Okay.
I think we'll get a Fable trailer. We got a teaser, if you want to call it that, a while back, and we haven't heard nothing since. And in the same vein, we'll get a Perfect Dark trailer. Because same thing, we've heard something about that a while back, but have not heard nothing since then. So I'm looking forward to seeing a Fable trailer and a Perfect Dark trailer along with it. But those are my predictions that I have right now.
Yeah. AB, you're right. It was a video rental store that had like one side of it was a video. It was technically like 2 locations in one. There was a video rental store on one side and an arcade on the other side. We just never rented videos from there, like ever. We did. They had dope hot dogs though. Jokes.
The first thing I have on my list after a little leak that happened is we're gonna see, yeah, GoldenEye, coming to
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah.
I think that one at this point is actually solid after seeing that there's achievements for it. So I
Correct.
think at this point now, that drone is going to show up and it's going to go into Game Pass. It's going
Is
to
it
be
going to be Xbox exclusive? Ooh.
I am going. You know what? I'm going to say
Call it.
yes. I'm
Okay.
going to say yes. I think
Okay.
this is going to be an Xbox exclusive, Xbox and PC. I think we'll see this
Sure.
on PC
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
fair.
Kind of the same thing, but we're going to see that. I'm in the same boat. Fable. I think we actually. I think we're going to get a release date for it, even though 9 times out of 10 that release date's probably going to get stretched. But I do think they're actually going to hit us with a release date for it.
Okay.
I think on this Xbox stage, we're going to get our first look at Mass Effect 4. I think Mass Effect with its roots being with Xbox, I think this would be a good place to have that unveiled. And obviously, it'll still be on all the platforms, at least Xbox and PlayStation. But I think this is where we would get it unveiled to the world. At least another trailer. We may not see like a gameplay or anything like that, but I think at least another trailer to get us amped up for it. The streaming stick, I think we will finally see this. Release date for this is probably going to land somewhere during holidays, so probably right before Christmas. I think that would be a good. Honestly, probably a little bit before that, maybe October-ish, maybe.
I was gonna say September, but okay.
October-ish, maybe.
Okay.
I think obviously the Horizon, we're going to see some DLC for that. There's no two ways about that. We're definitely going to see something. But also, I got two more. Gear 6, I do think we're going to get a teaser. I think it's about time.
Okay.
Like, I enjoyed the story for Gears 5, and I am ready to continue the story. And I think we're going to get that. Then last, I've been saying this for like 2 years now, I feel like. But Final Fantasy VII Remake is finally going to come to the box. I think we've passed the exclusivity window like 3 times now.
Depending on what they say on Sunday, I'm purchasing it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. That joint's gonna happen the same day, whether they do it on that smaller beginning or the extended joint, whatever day they put it on. That joint's gonna be the same day. I feel like it's long overdue, and with 16 coming, PlayStation exclusive, I think this is what's going to get Xbox fans happy for Final Fantasy.
I'm gonna agree with you wholeheartedly. I have that in my list. So, earlier this week, end of last week.
Oh, I got one more actually. I thought about. Go.
Okay. On the Final Fantasy VII Remake note, if you go now into the PlayStation Store, on your console, there is a section that specifically has PlayStation exclusive titles. Final Fantasy VII Remake was there. It's not there anymore. So I think they announce it Sunday, and I think it drops on Sunday.
That's what
Tuesday at the latest, I think it drops straight into Game Pass.
Better go
They're not going to make you pay for it. No, you can pay for it, sure, obviously, because that's one of the things about Game Pass. But with what they've been doing, they have had all the old Final Fantasy games have been available in there.
You're going to nail that final.
Bye, Sam. Yeah, so I think it drops. I think you're right. I think it's day and date. Go ahead with your last prediction.
The last one is a major studio acquisition. I think they're going to do this on the. Honestly, we talk about this a lot. How Japanese companies they typically state to themselves they do not want to be outsourced, but I believe Microsoft has built some amazing partnerships and relationships with some of these Japanese companies.
What up?
I do think they are going to pull the trigger and actually be able to land one over there. I think they've done an amazing job. I know it's a difficult thing to try to work out.
Who are they buying? Stop giving me. I think they're gonna make it. Who? Sega.
All right. I think Sega is at a point where they will benefit from having the likes of a Microsoft and an Xbox behind them. Seeing a Sonic, like we've seen, some Sonic games are in Game Pass. They're on Xbox. You can play them. But I think,
I mean, they have a great history for
yeah,
sure.
I think this is the company that's going to be like, they're going to acknowledge the fact that, hey, normally this is not a thing. But I think their partnership, their history, I think it's going to pay off, and I think Sega is going to come to the Microsoft family.
I could see a Sega acquisition for sure. Rumor is that there's going to be an announcement sometime this week, leading up, or possibly next week, of a Dreamcast Mini, because Sega's been tweeting about hardware. Like, keep your eye open for like a new hardware, which is like, that's just really strange. Thanks, Sam. Black Indie Dev says Epic is gonna buy something huge. They got the money. I think Epic will buy Adobe or Autodesk. I don't think Epic. They might buy Autodesk. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if they buy.
I don't know about Adobe. I don't know about that.
I do think we're gonna see I think we're gonna see some partnerships announced. I don't know necessarily that we're gonna see. I would also love a mini Dreamcast.
Yeah, I would.
I don't know necessarily that we'll see. I mean, I do think there's an acquisition coming, though I think that it's slightly less likely because they're still trying. I think whatever they buy, it'll be smaller. Mm-hmm. Because with them still in the midst of trying to deal with the
Activision Blizzard stuff, yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot.
I got one.
Okay, by all means.
This may not happen this year, but they're going to announce it. World of Warcraft is going to show up on the box. Like, with the success of how, like, Diablo has made that transition, I don't see why they couldn't do that with World of Warcraft. That would, then granted, the population of World of Warcraft is ridiculous. But just imagine if you can throw the Xbox in that mix as well, too.
I mean, look, I could maybe see World of Warcraft going into Game Pass on PC.
Mm-hmm.
In some manner. But I really think that World of Warcraft is a mouse and keyboard game. I'm not saying they couldn't make the transition to controller. I just think it's a lot more difficult. And yes, you can use a mouse and keyboard on an Xbox.
I mean, with PlayStation having Final Fantasy Online, I don't think that's too far-fetched to see them having something to compete with that in that type of space.
What I think is that with an exclusivity deal that seems like completely locked up for Final Fantasy 16, at least for probably the first 2 years, I could foresee them making the announcement that Final Fantasy 14 online is making its way to Xbox.
That could happen.
Because it's already available on PlayStation.
And the infrastructure is already there to make it easy for consoles.
Black Indie Dev, you're right about that, but like, what? I guess it's a matter of what would Epic owning Adobe do for them. Epic? What would it do? What good would it do for them to purchase Adobe? To spend to spend the money necessary to buy Adobe? What would it do for them?
Yeah, they could just have a good partnership. I think that would be somehow they can have some type of collaboration or partnership. I think that would probably benefit them some shape of way, but I don't know if they necessarily need to absorb them.
Yeah, hey, Brian said that the new Sega hardware is the Genesis Mini 2, unfortunately, which doesn't surprise me. Though I don't think Epic needs their tools. And to be honest with you, Black and I don't think they need their tools at all.
Epic is doing solid right now by themselves.
Pockets. It wouldn't surprise me if we got some sort of announcement that there were Dreamcast games that were being made or were coming to Game Pass.
Ooh, Blue Stinger.
Yeah. Here's what I'm expecting. Microsoft, I'm just gonna throw this out there. We're getting a Banjo. We're getting a Banjo game. They sat on having Banjo get put into Smash Brothers and did nothing, bro. So I think we're getting a Banjo game. Yeah, a Power Stone will be dope. Now that I could see. Unreal Engine also, I think, is just running that though, like just with with what they're doing. But you're right. I mean, they certainly could run some benefits there. You know, they're I mean, Unity in terms of development, sure, but I don't know that Microsoft makes a lot of those kinds of acquisitions behind the scenes. They're not the kind of thing that they announce at something like this, though. Though again, like they would maybe do a studio acquisition. Again, I already talked about the Final Fantasy VII remake. I think they do that, and that just drops. I think you're right, Sin. I think we see Perfect Dark. I think we see actual gameplay from Perfect Dark. I think they're going to be very, very cheeky about release dates.
I agree.
If it's not happening like right away, I don't think they're going to tell us any dates. I think that's the thing that people are probably going to be most disappointed about is not getting.
They might put out a year like 2023 or something like that. Yeah. Just be very vague with it.
Now I do believe that we will see Avowed. I think we're going to get gameplay. They're going to tell us exactly what it is we're doing in that game, and I think they're going to give us a date for that. And I think, depending on how close it is, we might actually get that this year. Like, I think there's a possibility of that. Okay. You're right. Unity did buy Weta Digital, and they did that so that they could compete with what Epic is doing with Unreal, which makes a lot of sense. I think you're right, Jokes, that we're going to see the streaming stick. I do think we'll get hardware. I think we'll probably see some controller announcements in some manner.
Give me a customizable Elite controller, damn it!
I don't know if they'll give us custom, but I think it's time for an Elite 3. I think we're gonna see an Elite 3 this year. I think we get a family plan for Game Pass. We know that's something they've looked into, it's something they talked about, and to be honest with you, with what PlayStation is now doing with PlayStation Plus, now is the time to strike.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as they're trying to get that whole thing up and running, being able to do a family plan that is priced the right way would take all the wind out of their sails. It would easily take the wind out of their sails. It especially if you announce a streaming stick. If you announce a streaming stick and say that you can do a family plan and you can just get the stick and put it in a TV and grab a couple controllers and you can play, that will literally take all the wind out of PlayStation Plus.
That is literally snatching the rug from under them. Yeah.
It'll be a wrap. I think that there's going to be a heavy focus on Game Pass, specifically because we know that the major games that were supposed to release this year have been delayed out of this year. So we're not getting Starfield this year. I think you're right, Sam. We will see not only gameplay, but we'll get a deep dive from Todd Howard about exactly how the game works. Whether it'll be like a 30-minute.
Yeah, one of them type of things.
This is how it works. This is what we're doing.
Here's how the character creation looks like. All that type of stuff. Yeah,
and that's the reason why I think we won't see much of anything from Elder Scrolls. I do think we're going to see a new Wolfenstein.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a new Wolfenstein. I think they're going to announce Deathloop coming to Game Pass, and I think they're going to announce it with some kind of something new added to the game. Just to give it that added bonus, because that year of exclusivity is going to end soon. So I think that they'll talk about it and they'll say it's coming in October or whenever it was that released. I think they'll give us that date. I think we get Redfall gameplay, and we get an explanation of what that game is.
Look like.
Yeah, and you know what I mean, and what we're supposed to do with that. I think what we're gonna see is a very heavy focus on what is coming. Again, like, Microsoft doesn't own Activision yet, but I think we're gonna see some of that partnership with EA grow. We know that there's a partnership with Ubisoft Plus that's coming, but they have something specifically tied into PlayStation. So I think that Microsoft will either be doing something with EA to kind of boost that or push that, maybe tying into a separate company to kind of, make that happen. Yeah, listen, that test drive, a new test drive would be so clean. But again, Forza, I think, is filling that. We will see the new Forza Motorsport game.
Okay.
And that is probably coming this year. And hasn't been out. It might end up being their big fall
release
title because, again, Starfield is out. So it's hard to say. There is a possibility that we'll see when they focus on Game Pass a focus on Activision stuff coming over. So some
Starting
of
to
those
shift
older
over.
IPs, things like that, making their way into Game Pass. Again, I think what they're really going to do is try to tout Game Pass as not just a reason to have an Xbox, but to be in that ecosystem. They're going to really push what's being done in the cloud. And I'm going to tell you, there's been a lot of talk over the last couple of weeks where it looks like they have done some updates to the cloud because it's working way better than it was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Sin, you and I played Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my car waiting for my daughter to come out of dance practice, and I'm playing on my phone, and we shooting and moving, and like it was clean.
And I can say on my end, like there wasn't like no lag from you or nothing like that. Like it was just like you were playing at home on the console. Like it was smooth.
It was pretty clean playing that joint straight out of the cloud on my phone using a controller. So yeah, Floyd, I think you're right. The Forza Horizon 5 expansion is going to get announced there. Sin did say that. Yeah. I just don't know what it's going to be. The Lego joint was dope before. The Hot Wheels joint was dope before.
So I'm expecting another whatever they decide to do. They've hit it out the park the past couple times.
Every time. So
yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Could be dope. Who's the most accurate out of the three of us? Realistically, probably none of us.
It is how it is. We always swing, and like we are like pleasantly happy and surprised at the things that we end up getting. Like Sin, we always know there's at least one of our anime jumps that ends up showing up on a Microsoft stage. Like obviously, One Piece is a thing already. We already know that's
coming. We already know that's coming. Yeah.
But like, do we see finally Xenoverse 3?
Like, as far as anything DBZ property wise, that's the one thing I'm expecting Xenoverse 3.
Because like they're doing very like fighters. They continuously just add. I think they're just gonna keep adding characters that is in its own lane. It's gonna stay there.
Could Microsoft acquire Bandai Namco?
I think that is a possibility.
Ooh.
I think that could be a possibility.
That would be a massive get as far as the anime space for them.
Kakarot continuously adds more content, and I do believe maybe we'll see another deal. It's time for something new to be added onto that for it.
Even Strikers is overdue for a Naruto Strikers overdue update, but they keep updating.
They did announce. I think they just announced something actually for that.
They announced a new season. You know what I mean? So they constantly twerking and update new stuff for it. So
twerking. Come on, let's get this.
Hey, look,
Naruto constantly twerking.
Yeah. Hey, look, they started off so bad, but they twerked their way up to this
Marcus,
point.
If you're in the background, Marcus, I'm gonna need you to clip that. I need you to clip that right now.
Oh, I trust me. It's a wrap. I got that.
Sin, I do think Xenoverse 3. Like, don't get me wrong, they just released or some content is just now coming for it. That's expanding Xenoverse 2. But I think they at least will say, "Hey, 3 is coming." Maybe that'll be like a next year type of thing.
I wouldn't be surprised,
especially with the movie on the horizon.
Yeah.
You know what? I think probably what we'll see. I think Microsoft with what they've been doing with their indie outreach, I think they're much more likely to do POC games specifically. I don't know if they'll necessarily use the showcase to call out that they're working specifically with like black devs. They usually save that stuff. That might be something they call out. Like they usually do like a day 2, day 3 kind of backup stuff, and like I did Xbox when they do their showcases. They have a tendency to specifically showcase on that. I do know that a friend of ours who has a company called Subsume, we've done multiple interviews with him at multiple conventions, including BlurCon. He is now working specifically with Xbox to put a studio together and do a game. Like he's been talking about it for the past couple of weeks. It's been in the works for a while, but he's been talking about it maybe a little over a month now. So I certainly think that we could see it for sure.
Hey Floyd, just so you know, Pirate Warriors 3 is not getting any more characters because 4 has been out for a minute and they've been adding characters to that one.
Yeah,
just an FYI.
Anything else? Yeah.
I got 4. And I just recently downloaded like a couple new packs I didn't know was available yet of new characters.
With Odyssey coming, I don't think they ain't going back to Power Warriors 3.
Yeah, look. I think Microsoft is going to have a solid showcase. I think that they're going to either be focused on announcing some. Again, they have so many developers we haven't heard anything from, like recently, that I think we're going to have some surprises. So there's stuff that like we're not going to be able to call, as far as those coming out. They got 23 plus studios all together. I think there's going to be a couple of surprises that probably come.
Oh, of course.
A little bit left field on Bethesda's end. I think there's going to be a couple of things we're not expecting. I think there'll probably be an update for Elder Scrolls Online. And there will probably be something about Fallout 76. I don't think we're getting a new Fallout game.
No, I don't.
They're probably not even trying to be funny till like 2030. Because they're not. I don't think they're gonna do another Fallout. I mean, they do got Microsoft money. They could expand and have some more teams, but like
not with
Elder Scrolls. If you're doing Starfield
not with
Starfield, not really gonna do Elder Scrolls until after that.
After that, then Fallout will be after that. So that's not coming for a while.
Yeah, for people to get their feel of what's going on, like Fallout 76 is for all intents and purposes their Elder Scrolls Online. So you're continually getting Elder Scrolls because Elder Scrolls Online continues to be a thing. I think Fallout 76, what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to end up moving that out to, I think 2030.
You know what?
Fallout? Absolutely.
And think about it. 2030 is not that far away. Like, it's scary to think about.
It'll be here
it's 7.5 years.
Yeah, but no, think about that. We will get some type of update for Elder Scrolls Online. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We will get that.
We will absolutely get it, and I'll think about playing it again and then won't. But like,
I got it on 2 different consoles.
Yeah. That's not 2030 is not that far out. Like it seems like it is, but it'll be here before you know it. Like
it'll be
Marvel has already planned out the next 10 years worth of stuff. So
exactly. Like if you look at how long it's been since we got the last Skyrim,
that people
and how long it's been since we got the last actual Fallout, like a last
every single
Fallout.
Console iteration gets a Skyrim.
Yes, Skyrim gets re-released. Yeah, so
Skyrim is so old now that like it's. Again, they're taking their time. So 2030 is.
It's right. It's about time.
Whatever, whatever. Realistically, whatever the next Elder Scrolls is, will not be on this generation of consoles. It's not happening.
No.
100-year plan.
It's not happening. Hey, I don't even think the next. Realistically, it might be cross generational, but it's a good chance whatever the next Elder Scrolls is not going to be on this generation of consoles.
Yeah, it's on maybe next. Yeah, Skyrim gonna be. We're already thinking about like Xbox Series X Pro or whatever the hell they're going to call it. PS5
they talking about
Pro.
that. Yeah,
we're going to get
that being a thing.
We're going to get a Skyrim Plus Max edition for these consoles. So
you see people rebuilding the intro level to Skyrim in Unreal 5 now.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Yes, GTA 5
but it will be.
Hey, listen,
it will be remastered. It will be remastered.
I saw today. Supposedly they're getting ready to drop new properties for Grand Theft Auto Online.
Let's go.
You getting ready to be able to buy the movie movie production.
Hey, look, I'm about to buy a shark card. About to go buy a shark card right now.
Ready. Yeah, because supposedly they're supposed to be bringing Michael in, just like they brought Franklin back in.
Oh,
I like it. Cool. I like it.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to buy the movie joint.
All right, so we got to get it. We got to get in, rob these banks and these casinos and stuff. Build this fund up, this cash up. Yeah, I'm ready.
So now that it's updated, going in there tonight just to mess around for a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
See, done deal. Look, okay, we're gonna wrap the show up. Hey, listen, I hear you, 30-something. We. So I'm like, I'm completely listen to me. I'm expecting to be in my 50s when the next Fallout joint drops. Like that's
God, yeah. That's it. I'm logging off for the night after that one.
That's what it is. Like, we about to come up on time for them to do a OG Xbox Mini. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? Oh, that's disgusting.
PlayStation 2 Mini. Like, we could almost do a PlayStation 3 Mini.
3 Mini.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, that's... you just have to look at what it is. Like, when I look at how old I was when Skyrim came out, and we don't have a new Elder Scrolls yet.
Talk about bringing up O's.
Snoop armpit.
Yes. Let me think. Skyrim came out in 2011, right?
Let's see.
That was around the same time as the PS.
You looked that one up, Joe.
I got it.
Yeah, real bleak for Gen X, dog.
November 11th, 2011.
2011, right? You know what I'm saying? This was supposed to be the anniversary. That's why they was dropping Starfield. Was supposed to be 11/11. So 2011. So think about that. That was 11 years ago.
And it's still going strong.
11 years ago. So
11 years ago, like
you
11
win, J. Robert
re-releases.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you think about that, 11 years ago, my youngest child is getting ready to turn 13. We was 360, John. It's been, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Starfield being in development. Like, listen, Todd Howard said he's been wanting to make this game for ages. The technology wasn't there. This is the first time the technology's been there for him to do it. We'll have to see how it does. Now they got that Microsoft money, it might actually come out and not have a bunch of bugs in it.
I was about to curse. No, it's not.
I mean, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'll be there.
Them pushing that joint back after having announced that release date like a year and a half ago, and that release date being so specific and it being an anniversary, to come out this early and say we're pushing it back and not give us another date, just like early next year, and do it for both games, to me that says, all right, we're working with new engines, which they are. They develop a new engine for it, so it could be some bugs, but also Microsoft is going to give them the autonomy and the money to keep working on it so that it's right when it drops, because realistically, while there is an expectation for Bethesda games to be buggy, bro, if it drops and it's not,
oh yeah, beautiful,
chef's kiss, bro.
Yeah,
and then people are gonna be like, oh, Microsoft did it. Phil Spencer's the greatest ever. Like, it's gonna turn.
I don't think it's gonna be infested with bugs with them pushing it back, but it'll still be a little buggy.
I'm not saying it won't have something in it.
That's the nature of
every game releases.
That's just the nature of the games we get nowadays. So it is what it is.
Bugs kind of are a feature. You know what I'm saying? Like putting buckets over the NPCs' heads in Skyrim. Y'all know about that, right?
I've never done that.
I feel like I've heard it.
But Slim. All right, so listen. I'm just gonna throw this out there, and then we're gonna shut the show down. So, you know how, like, in all the Elder Scrolls games, like, you work on, like, your thieving skill. You sneak, you know what I'm saying? Steal stuff, whatever. In Skyrim, because of the way they have the NPCs set up, you can just pick up, like, a bucket or, like, a trash can, and you can flip it over, and you can put it over the head of the NPCs, and then they can't see you. So you can just go and steal whatever you want.
Timer got him again.
Yeah.
I cut it
you
off.
You just go and steal whatever you want. It allows you to just do, so you could just put it over their head and just.
So now it's time for that Skyrim run. That's all. It's just now time for that Skyrim run. I'm still everything.
Classic. It's a bug. It wasn't something that was intended, but it works because of the way they have it set, so that the line of sight for the NPCs works, so they can see you if you steal or whatever, you get caught.
It wasn't designed to work like that Homer Suitcase and Hitman, but it works.
Listen, greatest weapon in all video games. The homing suitcase. That joint is incredible. Oh, don't say it's haunted, man. You mess him up for the rest of the night.
I'll be knocking on his door in 5 minutes. Trust me how fast I'll drive over
there. Straight up. Okay. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us, chatting with us this evening. Look, we have some things that are going on throughout the rest of the week. So look, anime chat starting to bubbly bubble, and so is the Discord. So let's talk about what's happening in anime chat.
So this week in Anime Chat, we are running what we are calling Robin's Recommendations, where us admins are recommending an anime each for y'all to watch. And we want to hear from y'all as well. What do you think we should be watching? And also, we are watching Erased. We're watching episodes 3 and 4 this week. We are watching it on Thursday in the Thriller Park channel of our Discord at 8 p.m. Like I said, Thriller Park channel is where you want to be at. That's where we're doing all our anime watch party stuff in our Discord channel. Thursdays are specifically for our thriller, horror, suspense type of stuff. I'm pretty sure Jokes can agree that Erased is, off the first 2 episodes, it's interesting if y'all come in there and watch it with us, because me and Jokes haven't seen it. So we're trying to piece this murder mystery thing together. And the other admins have seen it. So like their take on watching us trying to piece everything together. And it is, all those first episodes is a really good watch. And for those who want to get in that may not have seen it yet, I know we've already watched the first 2 episodes. I'll get into watching with you.
Hey, I'm ready to watch.
Send me a message. No, I'm rewatching it before this week, just so I can write down some clues. But I'm willing to watch it with anybody. Right? Yeah, I'm willing to watch it with whoever wants to get in and take a look. In the Discord, so just send me a message and we can go in Discord and watch the first 2 episodes together. I'm down with that before Thursday at 8 p.m. But yeah, that's what's going on this week. So join us in the Discord if you want on Thursday at 8 p.m. to see what's happening next.
Jokes, you have a job to do.
Yes, sir.
Snackers and Snackettes and Snack X's. Make sure you jump on that Beacons link. Follow us across the board. If you're having trouble figuring out where the Loading Stacks Anime Chat and so forth is, the easiest way to get to it, that link right there. Same thing with wrestling and the wrestling chat. What is happening with wrestling chat? Jokes?
So if you guys haven't seen, we dropped The Finisher episode 2. Talked about a little controversy that's going on within the wrestling world. Getting ready to
in wrestling? Nah.
Just a little bit. We're getting ready to do episode 3. Possibly going to have a couple special guests on there. Definitely at a time while we were at AwesomeCon, there was actually a lot of wrestling chat that we actually did on site that actually spilled over into the chat. Of course, that's on there for it. Always looking for more people. We got a few more friends that actually joined in. If you guys have friends that are into wrestling, highly advise, have them jump in. We have these conversations. We're looking to also do some stuff with inside of the Discord space as well too. But I'm looking for some more thoughts on what you guys want to hear us talk about on The Finisher. Everybody's has been pretty involved in these last 2 conversations that we had going on. So we hope the third one is going to be the same way as well too, and we're going to keep that going.
Oh man. Movie of the month for Loading Stacks Movie Club is Snatch. We haven't decided exactly when we're going to do the live discussion for it, but it'll be sometime in the next couple of weeks. So we'll all be watching that and having a very in-depth discussion about this film. If you're not already a member of the Loading Stacks Movie Club, again, you can find the link using our beacons to get to everything. Jump in, join us, enjoy that.
Yep, go ahead and send Hubs then and tell them come on into the wrestling chat.
No doubt. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yes, so let's once again shout out our patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Susan Deutsch, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
That is the absolute truth. Look, I want y'all to make sure you're paying attention. We do, in fact, have our latest episodes of Spoiler Boys. We've been talking about Obi-Wan. Tomorrow, we have the 4th episode of Obi-Wan, but we also have the 1st episode of Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, we better pull some double duties.
We got to pull double duty with the Spoiler Boys this week, so we got some extra work to do. So you guys, please make sure that you're paying attention to that. Those do go into Patreon specifically, but the audio version and a video version is available through like Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast services. So you can just search Spoiler Boys, and you'll find us. Many of the stuff that we talk about and have talked about is there. There is also an audio version for the Loading Stacks Movie Club and so forth. So Lotus House Movie Club's been doing very well as far as podcasts for films and so forth has been going. We were ranked like 150th in the country.
Nuts.
So that's
Yes.
pretty dope for Lotus House Movie Club. And again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and for paying attention or for grabbing the audio version. That just helps us out more and more. We will be doing some more conventions coming up very soon. So again, keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Also, keep your eyes and ears peeled on the Facebook as well as our Instagram as well as our YouTube, because we are continuously uploading the interviews and things that we shot over the weekend at AwesomeCon. So please look for that. If you see something you like, go and follow and support those artists and so forth that we interviewed. And please share. We want to help continue to get the word out about those folks. Yes. Listen, I am sad that we will not be at Heroes. It doesn't mean I won't make a pop-up visit, but we'll see how that goes. It's not super likely, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. So with that, it's time to wrap up the show. And Jokes, I'm going to ask you one more time.
Mm-hmm.
What do we say at the end of the show?
Just because it's a well thought out plan doesn't mean it's a good one.
I mean, that was close.
Close.
I was close.
I can't do it. Hey, Sin, I got to be confident.
It's all good. It's all good.
You
was confident.
I will say that I do appreciate the confidence.
Hey, you got to be confident.
I will tell y'all, please keep in mind that just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea. With that, we're out. Toodles and Loos.